was that experience like? I mean, how were you able to communicate with LDI? How were you able to communicate with your family? Was there a cost? Who covered the cost? Kind of, what was that experience really like? How did you kind of handle that on the back end?
Well, I would say that I had a big support there. I had LDI Africa. I had the U.S. Embassy. When I first got there, the charge of affairs at the U.S. Embassy in Gambia actually met with me, especially to talk about Ebola and just some of the perceptions with that. Drinking the water, he basically covered everything for me. And then as far as the living conditions or my living situation, I had coordinated with the owner of Global Properties, and then also I had someone else that was there who was arranging my stay. And so he knew where I was gonna stay. I just had to, I was just a little fearful because I'd never been to Africa. So I just had to make sure, okay, where is this place? But it was kind of like as I went along, so it wasn't like 2 weeks before I knew where I was staying. I think they arranged at the last minute as well. But there, everybody was very hospitable. So one thing that I learned there is that having a place to stay is never an issue. Having something to eat is never an issue. Those are not issues there. Those are issues that we have here because we live in a different society. But there, if you went to anybody's house, you always had something to eat. You never had to worry about eating or cooking or where you're gonna live.
And we do understand that the world is global. We can Skype or YouTube, but we also understand that in different parts of the world, that internet accessibility isn't always what it is in the U.S. How were you able to make those connections when, and Nikki, you can chime in on this too, when you weren't able to make the connections?
Well, a lot of the work that I was doing was there. I would say that things moved a lot slower than what I would have anticipated because I thought I was just going to go there, hop on the internet, and everything was just going to go my way. But I think it took me almost about a month just to get situated with like all of my technology. But I would say after I had what I needed, I was okay. And the people at the store, the people there are so easy to deal with once they get to know you, that the people at the store will even know who you are. Like, part of my trip, my grandmother died. And when I came back there, the guy says, sorry for the loss of your grandmother. I said, I didn't even know he knew that my grandmother had passed away. But that's how close the contact is with people there.
And was there a daily check-in? Was there every other day? How frequently were you able to access?
Well, once I had the internet, I could pretty much get on at my leisure. But the thing is that I had to be conscious of the electricity, especially when I stayed with 15 to 20 other people. Because when I lived in that type of environment, everybody shared. So, it wasn't just, okay, I need electricity, I need to have it on. So other people had to share with the cost of the electricity. So it was a lot more involved in you having electricity to have your stuff on. But pretty much I would do, as soon as electricity came on, people may come talk to me, I was working. And then I would just go to them once the electricity cut off, I'm like, okay, now where did you say? So that's kind of how I had to live. Once the electricity came on, I was working.
And Nika, what was your experience like with that?
It was somewhat similar, but when I was there, I actually went to disconnect from everybody else. So I'm sorry, that's the type of person I am. But I went to, get away from all of this. So I wasn't really too much focused on keeping contact. But of course, you have your calling cards, you have your computer labs and things like that. So there's always ways to communicate, and everybody had a cell phone. So it wasn't like it was a challenge, a huge challenge. It hasn't